Peace, I'm Maj Toure, and today, I'm the face of America. Historically, gun control came right after emancipation, right after, African Americans fought for their liberation. During emancipation, right after that, the first rules to prevent people of color in America from having firearms was right after that. That's why, we say all of the time, all gun control is racist. It's been a very effective means to stop, people from having those means, as stated in the Second Amendment, having a non-alienable right to defend their life, liberty, and their pursuit of happiness. And those rules were created based out of fear, based out of bigotry, bias, and racism. And that's, everything else after that is subsidiary of the parent company of racism when it comes to gun control. All of those laws are infringements, period.
More trained, educated people about firearms and their Second Amendment with...
I'm Maj Toure, the founder of Black Guns Matter, a firearm safety and training organization based out of Philadelphia, and I'm a solutionary. Well, the Second Amendment defends, American citizens away from, running into a tyrannical situation because you have the means to defend your values. You have the means to defend your way of life. And that's not something that's outsourced to the government. That's something that in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, there were things placed in position to make sure that power remained in the hands of the people. And one of those very important, powerful tools being a firearm, or having an arsenal, or having the means to defend what you believe. Because if you can't defend what you believe, it's nothing. If I tell you, you have the right to defend your life, if need be, and the freedom to exist. If you're trying to tell me that I shouldn't have that right or that you don't want that right, one, you're probably crazy to say you don't want to defend your own life should the need arise. And two, if you're saying that I shouldn't, and let's say you're just a politician, but you have an armed security detail, it's the height of a contradiction. And I can't allow your deception or your contradictions to prevent my life, liberty, and my pursuit of happiness. And if you're serious or hell-bent on infringing on that, the question that I would ask you is, what level of violence are you able to employ or withstand to stop me from having my right to exist? Safety is paramount. A firearm is an inanimate object. You have to break a bunch of the rules of firearm safety in order to have a negligent discharge. So giving people an understanding of civics, their responsibilities that come along with those rights, as well as the responsibility of safety when handling firearms properly. Proper security, proper storage, proper trigger discipline, proper muzzle discipline. These are things that are keystones of our movement. And when you have those things hand in hand, you become very, very powerful. I've had guns since I was 15, most of the time unlawfully, based on these current very anti-human rights rules. I never shot anyone in a robbery just because. I never, turned into this evil person just because I had a firearm, and I think that's most Americans. We're not going outside looking for trouble. So in knowing that, and that being my lived experience, seeing other people catch, possession charges, not because they did something wrong with the firearm, just the mere act of having it makes you a felon. Seeing that, and some of those guys just were missing information. They didn't know that you just had to fill out some paperwork, be patient, and wait a little bit, which is still an infringement on your human right, especially people that live in rough neighborhoods, like Chicago, like New Orleans, like St. Louis, where we're going next. So we knew that we had information that we could give to keep some of these people out of prison, and also expose some of those contradictions. At the end of every law, there's a person with a firearm threatening you with violence for not complying with that law. It's the boilerplate, what happens if you deny a law. You don't pay your parking tickets. If they come to try to take your car and you don't want them to take your car, the police come with a gun. So in seeing that, we knew that we could keep a lot of people out of jail while exposing the contradiction, while creating a political base to overturn a ton of these unconstitutional laws or unconstitutional infringements. So we started something that has had a major impact. My job is to remove a lot of the money that comes into people's hands and their coffers off of the sweat and toil and tyranny of, American people. If you're a lawyer, if you're a judge, if you're a prison owner, you should be very afraid of me. My job is to take money and food off of your plate because you're making American citizens criminals just by proxy, by the stroke of a pen. It's not right, and it's not going to continue anymore. And that's why we started this organization. I've thought about running for office. I'm hesitant about that because the level of hypocrisy is at an all-time high. And I know what a lot of you politicians are doing. And I'd probably catch an assault charge for smacking one of you because the contradiction is so blatant. You make rules that you make yourself exempt from. And that's not, you're a public servant. I probably would be a very good politician because the work that I'm doing right now is all public service, But I think I like being free, in order to give a lot of those guys problems without any of the restrictions that they have. Right now I'm a free radical. I'm a solutionary. I can do anything wherever I want. I don't have the same restrictions. I'm like Blade, the Daywalker.